Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Hawkeye audio commentary on the Polaris Network. I am your host for the day, Caleb. Do I sound like Caleb? You think I can pull that off?
Nah. You ain't got it, fam.
I'm your host for the day, not Caleb. And joined with me today as co-host, Jessica Mars, James Gore, Mindy Reyes, and of course, we have to bring him onto the show, Mr. Bad Opinion Man himself, Lucious Burton III. I really don't sound like it. That's crazy.
No, you don't. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
No.
I tried. How's everybody feeling today?
Pretty good.
So pretty much going into this particular episode, the second to last episode of Hawkeye, I'll say it definitely brings us to a huge finale, you know, both the show and kind of everything moving forward. This episode was really interesting out the gate because it didn't necessarily start on either Hawkeye, like not Clint, not Kate. Like this is probably one of the first episodes outside of the one with Echo, where we get a flashback to 2018 where we see Yelena. Mm-hmm. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, it's good to see that she's. I was like,
no one cares.
It's good to see that she's going out there and saving all the other widows and stuff. So who knows how many more there are and stuff like that. So I don't know. That was a good touch up, I guess.
I thought it was kind of funny how the one they went there to save didn't need anything. Just messed up her rug for no reason.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I actually kind of found it cool how they showed how they saw their transition, like how they saw the 5 years pass by, kind of.
Yeah, no, that's literally what I was gonna get into. Like, that's like, and that was my question. Really, is this the first time that we've seen the perspective of someone who was like disintegrated?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Because it was like instantaneous. Like she actually did not know what happened, which is kind of crazy. It kind of ends a lot of the meme theories from like 2-3 years ago when Spider-Man was like, what did he say? I'm sorry, Mr. Stark.
Look, don't bring that up. That made me tear up. We're gonna move past that one.
But this was an interesting scene nonetheless. And then we immediately end this scene, and I think we jump straight into Hawkeye going to the LARPers. I think that kind of brings into like the last couple episodes that we did where we kind of talked about, you know, the LARPers playing a big role in the end. Any thoughts or opinions on that scene in particular? Or we just gonna move past Pizza Dog?
Aw.
I think it's neat how they going from playing around fantasy in the park to actually dealing with superhero stuff. I said that'd be a highlight of their life.
True. I mean, the LARPers are starting to come in clutch, honestly. Like,
yeah, I think that it's great that Hawkeye has, you know, the resources within the LARPers. And, you know, the guy, he was like, you know, you can sleep on my couch. Actually, you can sleep in my bed, you know, like just to have like that support. And they are showing up and showing out, like they're playing a big role for Hawkeye.
Honestly, I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna do a deep dive.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Now, do I sound like Tiffany?
No, you don't.
Okay. Okay, so I feel like it kind of like placates the role of Hawkeye, and it lets us know like he's kind of lost without a team, and he always like finds his way into some sort of like grouping or like team or group of people. Even if you look at like Endgame, when he was like by himself, he was going around killing everybody, versus like, you know, he gets that call from Natasha and he's like, oh yeah, I'll just like stop everything I'm doing and just rejoin the Avengers. Or even just him joining the Avengers in the first place. Like, clearly he's someone who loves to be a part of a team.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's that loner that acts like they want to be alone all the time, but needs some people.
Right? It's funny because like I feel like Jeremy Renner, the actor that plays Clint, is like that's like his character in every movie ever. If you've ever seen him in like Tag, like that's literally like the entire plot. And I just spoiled it. So sorry, but yeah. Maybe it's a deeper personal issue with him.
Maybe.
We get to the scene with Kate and her mother.
Ooh.
Oh, this dirty.
All right, how do you guys feel about this scene?
Too many things.
Bad opinion, man? I know you have a bad opinion for us. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
Are you talking about when they were like sitting in the room and she's like, hey, look up on what you call it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I knew something was up because when she said that, she showed no emotion at all. She was like, I got you, and just did it. So I was like, oh, she's sus. So there's something's wrong with her.
I mean, I feel like she's been like sus the entire series though.
The entire series.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
What?
I just see her being a supportive mom.
So this is where the bad opinions come from. I'm starting.
I told you.
No, that ain't no supportive mama. Not even the slightest.
No, I think that is it was a scene that honestly that might be the worst scene in the entire like episode.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like because it had like nothing really going on, and it was like it really just kind of showed, I guess, for the people with bad opinions, it showed them like, oh, you should kind of be worried now. Like this seems too normal for it to be included in an episode where everything is being revealed and exposed. Like, why is the mom acting so like motherly when do you remember the first episode? The very first episode, like one of the first scenes at the dinner party.
I don't remember.
Yeah, when she talking to the old dude.
No. Even before that, like, do you remember how Eleanor was acting to Kate? That whole first episode where she was kind of like not necessarily as maternal or motherly. She was like more so like focused on the business.
Yes.
Kind of Christian-esque.
Yeah, she was acting like real aloof.
And then now all of a sudden she's just all motherly and like, oh my gosh, you're the only thing I care about in this world.
Yeah. And saying it with the face too. Like her facial expressions were just like numb, like
flat.
Very flat. She didn't really have a lot of emotion. She was just like, she kind of felt like a robot, just like going through the motions. Like, I have to say this. I have to be a supportive mother right now because my daughter is hurting.
Right? It was like insert message, insert. It was like playing The Sims. You ever played The Sims?
Yeah.
You pick the next person. It was too on the money. That's why I was like, this scene just feels off for all of the wrong and right reasons at the same time.
Yeah.
So we move out of that scene and we move into like one of probably the better scenes in the entire episode. Probably, honestly, I've seen people say this is the best scene or one of the best scenes in the entire MCU.
Oh wow. Okay.
What scene?
When we get the return of Yelena, and she finally speaks with Kate, and they talk over Kraft mac and cheese.
Yes,
that one was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was very comical. The back and forth.
Like we got way more words out of Yelena than we did the entire Black Widow movie.
I still ain't seen that movie.
What?
Man.
Oh,
look. How they made Taskmaster look, I just couldn't vibe with it.
Not your Taskmaster fan. Jesus. We got a bad opinion man and a Taskmaster fan all in one.
I ain't a Taskmaster fan. I just wanted to see him look a little cool.
I feel like they're gonna bring Taskmaster back because people were so like turned off by it.
See, I'm not alone.
I think so. Because they did it with Mandarin, so I think they'll do it with Taskmaster. They can do whatever they want. They literally just brought Venom into the MCU. They can literally do whatever they want.
Oh, you could see the smile on my face when I saw that. Oh, I was grinning ear to ear.
I liked it, but I was like, it was so random.
But what?
The last scene in Venom where Venom drops in, and it's just like, plop, I'm in the MCU now.
Look, how else you gonna introduce him?
And then Spider-Man just so happens to be on the screen. It was like, did the writers take the day off for this one?
That was probably the most exciting end credit scene I've ever seen.
Here's the bad opinions, Lord.
No, I agree with him on that one. Just throw him in there. It's Venom.
That's so
the most exciting end credit scene. Do you not remember when Nick Fury only had end credit scenes?
Okay, they were. Yes, it was like I don't know. It was building up, and then we got the movie rather than
Thanos end credit scene.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't appreciate the classics. Okay. So with this scene with Yelena, I think we get to see a lot more of her personality if you're introduced her. So how did you feel about it, James? Since you this is your first time seeing the new Black Widow.
You know, I ain't mad at her. I'm liking her. She got more of a fun personality than Natasha. Well, at least a little bit when she, talking with someone over mac and cheese.
Right, but hot sauce. I feel her in it. I like hot sauce and everything.
I've heard that it's not that bad, but you don't want to go over.
Yeah, she was kind of killing it a little too much. I wonder, does she use hot sauce on Reindeer? It was implied. We need confirmation. We need eyes on that situation. No, I really love Yelena. I feel like I really loved her from Black Widow. And she just, and I'll say this about honestly all of the legacy characters so far. So like Captain America, or I guess the new Captain America. The only one that may not actually be a good legacy character is like the new Iron Man, but we have to see how that plays out. But the legacy characters so far, the replacements, whether it's Hawkeye, Kate's Hawkeye, Sam Wilson's Captain America, and now Yelena's Black Widow, they're all a lot more charismatic than their like predecessor counterparts.
For sure.
They're gonna do a different take on like the new Avengers, but I want to know how they're gonna do the Hulk.
She-Hulk is gonna be an interesting one. Because She-Hulk is gonna be a comedy. They said it's reminiscent of Deadpool in terms of like fourth wall breaking and stuff. So
like that.
I gotta see. I never really liked the She-Hulk storyline or the Red Hulk storyline. I felt like what made the Hulk so special was he was the only one.
What?
I'm saying like in the comics. I just didn't like those storylines. I always was confused by like how they happened. And then there's like 50 versions of the Hulk. So it's just like, okay, is everyone just the Hulk?
That ass character there. Now we finally know that Banner the crazy one.
Now I'm not throwing no shots. I'm not throwing no shots whatsoever, but I'm just saying, it's only one Wolverine.
Laura's all right. Laura's all right.
Comic fans listening, do not kill me in the comment section. I know that there's probably 1,500 versions of Wolverine, but there's only one. I guess technically there is two Wolverines because technically in Logan it was like X2. Okay, well never mind then. Like okay,
go on take that back. They're gonna tell you.
Yeah, I was like, let me think about that real quick. Yeah, well, actually speaking, scientifically speaking, so this is the scene we get with Yelena with Kate. Is great. I love Kate's reaction to this like uncomfortable situation.
She's definitely able to hold her own, like in this, and she stands firm, about, Clint not killing Natasha, and her sister is just convinced that he is. But I think that she plays it cool and like she's showing how loyal she is to Clint, and I love that.
I love everyone's reaction every time someone mentions Natasha's name. It's like so extra and dramatic. It's great every time. You know, it's like when she's like, "You're Natasha's sister." Then she gets on the phone like, "Yelena is Natasha's sister," and he's like, "Natasha,
Oh no.
Yelena." It's so extra. I love it. I'm like, did I direct this accidentally? I forget.
Oh my god.
Did the multiverse version of me direct this?
Wow.
I hated Kate talking to her mom. So the next scene, we see Kate trying to get in contact with Hawkeye. We see her let the mom know, or no, this is actually before. I kind of skipped around a little bit. As you can see, my notes are all over the place. You know, it's a multiversal war going on.
Wait, real quick, can we go back to the scene with Yelena and Kate? I just want to know, it's I don't know, like they keep saying, like obviously we all know that Yelena was told that Hawkeye killed Natasha, but like, do you think they're ever gonna like explain the story like in detail of like why Yelena thinks that? Because by one person telling her, she can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go kill Hawkeye now. Like there has to be a story that adds up, and I'm really curious to see how that finds out.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. Because I wondered that too. Like I was wondering, like, because when she first popped up, even like if you watched the end of Blackwidow, I felt like, did she know? Because that was kind of where she was like, this is the person that killed your sister, right? And so I'm like, does she? Because she seems to have very good intel, obviously. Like she was telling, you know, Kate all about her life and things she likes to do and everything. And so even though I have to admit that that wasn't like that detailed, like that was stuff like any of us could have probably looked up. But I got the point. And so I felt like, does Yelena truly know what happened? Because there's obviously musical plays and stuff about them saving the world and all kind of stuff. And so I'm like, is there like, does she know like that Natasha sacrificed herself, or like how does that play up? You know, in terms of like how it works with Clint. And I know they're gonna probably have to speak about it, but I just wondered, like in that moment, it seemed like she knew exactly what happened, and yet she still blamed him. And then at the sometimes it seemed like she didn't know what happened to the T, and those little details are gonna be the ones that kind of like, you know, change her direction in life.
Yeah. Because I was saying, I was like, for her to be like such a Russian spy and like know everything and all personal information and stuff, she should find out more detail about how her sister died before she starts listening to other people.
Right.
That is true. And honestly, that might be what she does. I mean, do you remember the scene with Echo where she interrogated Hawkeye? Like that might be kind of like the play for Yelena as well. She might just want to talk to him first and then have a conversation and then, you know, get to the bottom of it. And if she doesn't like the answers, then, you know.
Yeah. I figured she gonna be holding him up at gunpoint, and then he gonna spill everything, and she gonna have that moment of epiphany.
I agree.
It could also probably be like her, like that she's grieving and she just like wants to find out who killed her sister. Like, and just like the first one that she just wants to blame is him because that's like all she's ever known. Like target, like that's my assignment, and like go.
Right. I love how personable she is, despite being like a whole Russian spy.
Yeah.
And she brought the vest back. I know you guys didn't notice, but she actually brought the vest back.
Not the green one.
True.
We don't know what happened to that other vest.
It's with Natasha's body.
Way to take it morbid, bad opinion.
Duh.
So Kate talks to her mom, and I absolutely hated it. I was like, "Oh, you're so green. Why did you just let her know that?" Like, I hate when characters do that when they're like, "Hey, guess what happened? You won't believe. Like, we just found this whole shit." Like, they tell all of the intel to the very person who like knows the intel, and now it's connecting all the dots.
Right.
To say the least.
So immediately when she tells her mom that, now I don't know. I know we brought this up like a couple like episodes ago, but I'm not sure if the mom and Jack like were trying to play each other or they were trying to like finesse each other. Like I don't know, but clearly Jack is now taking the fall as we see the scene where she gets home and Jack is clear as day being arrested. And he's like probably like having the best arrest ever. Like he's very like nonchalant about it. Like, oh yeah, I'll be back. Make sure you save the games on the recorder.
Yeah.
So do we feel Jack is innocent now? Like definitively? Or innocent enough?
I feel like he's innocent enough at this point. Like, I don't know. I still feel like he's puppet master. Like, not the puppet master, but I still feel like he's a puppet. And like you said, like they were probably playing each other. This the sixth episode, the last episode is going down, like for real, because a lot of stuff is gonna be unveiled.
I definitely see him and Hawkeye having a fight sequence. Not like against each other, but like more so like him coming and helping. He said, what did he say? I've never worked a day in my life. Like, that was hilarious.
Lucky.
He got off a lot of one-liners in that moment. I was like, this is the slowest arrest I've ever seen. What are these cops doing? It's like 6 police officers to arrest one man, and they're like doing it very slow. Like, they're still handcuffing him.
Yeah, he had a whole monologue.
That's what I'm saying. Like, literally. So then we get into the Hawkeye and Echo fight scene, which was amazing.
Time out. Didn't in a couple episodes ago we found out that the mama is like in control of some of the police and security team? What if that was some of her dudes and he's like just playing like he getting arrested? Like I just thought of that.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
We get a hot take, but every time someone drops a hot take.
Like, I just thought about that.
Yeah, that's a hot take. I'm like, wow.
We shall see. What is it hot take? Damn.
See, we sitting here thinking now.
That sneaky mama.
Sneaky mama.
Never.
I mean, well, I mean, obviously her story is about to be told this next episode, but I feel like Echo's story might be wrapping up. We're almost over. I think we have a couple more scenes with her, and she's gonna be set up for the future.
Probably.
Obviously, we know that they have a show starring her alone in the works. So that's kind of what I'm guessing is gonna set, or I guess take place. Is that like kind of like that backdoor pilot leading into like that, spinoff?
Possibly. She might.
But the fight sequence was great. She actually was kind of giving Hawkeye the business a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I was worried.
How do you guys feel about that scene?
I love that.
Yeah.
And then the guy that's the sniper is like kind of like, I mean, he did get knocked down and knocked out, but he was not doing a great job of like being a sniper.
Well, he's a fraud anyways.
Right. Do you guys think he did it, or do you feel like he actually doesn't know what's going on?
I feel like he did it because that look that he had whenever she drove away on her bike, like it was just like the look of guilt. Like he just looked like, damn, like she might know a little bit too much. Like,
yeah. He was looking just like that.
He started getting choked up with ass.
But my thing is, like, he didn't have, like, he has so many years to prepare to lie to her, and he's like, I didn't get a call. I'm like, really, bro?
He blew it. He blew it. I mean, post Thanos, bad guys just aren't bad guys anymore.
I was like, you have all these years to come up with a story, and you're over there. I didn't get a call. That's it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, he blew it. He blew it on that one. I was like, you just lost points. Like, I thought he had a more elaborate, like, ruse. He was gonna hit the Michael Jackson hug and then look off, like, throw. Like, I thought it was gonna be something sneaky. He just, out of all the sneaky characters, maybe Eleanor's mom needs to open up like a villainy school, because this is just terrible. I don't know what's going on.
You need a mentor.
And I mean, literally, it was about like what, 10 of them all spread out hiding, and they all literally got taken out, literally dropping bats, shooting guns, and no one is alerted. Like, maybe we should probably be on guard or all run to the center. and then just jump this guy who's a one man. I didn't like the scene with the where he invited them in the car, and they were kind of showing more of their personality a little bit. And then the scream that guy let off was crazy. But secondly, the how you see like the wounds on their face, it kind of like just shows that the show is a lot more grounded than like WandaVision, where it just doesn't seem that there was any consequences, but inconvenience. So what do you guys feel about I have a random fact. So Kate saved the day a little bit, which was great. I thought that was really great. It kind of showed that she's kind of like starting to like fit in, like they're starting to get chemistry, her and Clint, in terms of working as a team. Where did Hawkeye stash the suit?
I don't know.
Because we see him walk away immediately. He literally changed out of the outfit very quickly, and he's walking. But like, where's the suit and the sword? Like, I would hope he didn't just like leave it for someone to take it again.
Well,
it's
maybe he's like
bad at keeping track of his items.
I was gonna say maybe it's under his clothes, but that's it was not under his clothes.
Like, where did he just stash the suit? He's walking, holding his arm. So it's like, where did he just stash the suit? Like he did all of that. Like, did he just like where is he putting in the suit? That's what I want to know. Like, where is he putting this suit? That's one of those situations like the bag that he stole from that lady that he was just like, she was never getting back. But I'm like, I don't know.
I forgot it.
Yeah, she wasn't getting that bag back. Any last thoughts on the episode?
Well, we got to talk about Big Bad at the end.
Oh, how did I almost forget? Sneaky mom, almost making me forget about her little exposure at the end. Okay. So at the very end of the episode, Yelena texts Kate and is like, hey, just so you know, your mom is the one that hired me and she's working with this dude and she took this picture. How do you guys feel about that? Probably the craziest part of the episode.
Who's that big mama jamma in the picture? I wonder who.
So this is where I get confused then. So the person at the end credit scene with Yelena of Black Widow, who is she then?
Oh, that's Valentina. That's like the opposite of Nick Fury. Like they actually like have like a whole like connection in the comics and stuff that I'm sure they will also have.
I was gonna say because I thought she was the one who hired Yelena to kill Hawkeye.
She works for her. So think about it like this. Think about like if you were a mercenary killer, you would work for like a interloper, kind of like a intermediary, like a middleman who basically gets the calls and books you to like, take the gigs.
Yeah, okay.
Killing people gigs is crazy, but it's a family show. And so I'm guessing that Kingpin obviously knows this lady. She knows everybody. She's like Nick Fury. She has connections everywhere. And so she personally, or he personally, like either like made that connection, or Eleanor's mom, who we don't know her connections to everything yet,
right?
Probably is well connected herself and was like, oh, I know, like how James just pointed out, she has people everywhere. So she's probably like, oh yeah, I know who to call.
She's probably connected to Valentina.
Exactly. That business card at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, she probably has one of those.
What if they're sisters? They look like each other.
Oh. Hot take number 2.
What if like she started this just because like they destroyed her home like at the very first episode? Like it's the Avengers' fault that kind of like the dad died and everything.
Yeah.
I think she killed the dad. I think this is more Lifetime than it is Disney.
Yeah, you're sick.
I think she killed the dad. Oh. Now what's crazy is if she's like, in a relationship with Kingpin.
Ooh,
That's a toxic relationship.
very.
But no, but like
Or
Kingpin is like
maybe it's one she doesn't want to be in, and he's like threatening her to do it or something. I don't know.
She looked kind of comfortable in that picture.
Maybe because she thought she was gonna get killed, or I don't know.
But wouldn't she just go to Hawkeye if she wanted? You know, like if she had the resources to like kill Hawkeye, who clearly has gone around killing like a lot of people, couldn't she just do the same with Kingpin?
Yeah. Okay.
And she has connections to him, so she could like pinpoint exactly where he's at.
That is true.
This is building up to be a crazy last episode.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the ultimate take. That's probably unpopular, but Hawkeye so far looks like one of the best shows thus far. Honestly, all of the shows have kind of gotten better depending on how you feel about WandaVision versus Falcon and Winter Soldier. The second to last episode of each of the shows thus far has been the best of the entire season. Every single show. Hawkeye, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision. Do you guys believe this one is different? This time is different. We're not going to get hit with an okie doke or a terrible reveal or, you know, like how do you guys feel about going into the last episode? Do you think Daredevil was going to show up randomly and say, hey, I can take care of this?
Oh, they might.
I mean, they just been dropping everyone in. I'm expecting Spider-Man to swing by randomly at some point without his mask on.
I don't know what I'm thinking, but I think that they're gonna kind of do like a reveal and be like when they find out who Ronan is, he's going to be exposed to the entire world, and I feel like that will like change like how people's opinion probably about the Avengers or something. I don't know, because the entire series they were like, you save the world, and to know, and then like at the end they find out that he was the killer. You know what I mean? Like kind of.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people more than well mad at the Avengers. Shit, they done beat up New York, beat up Sokovia. They done had people phasing out of existence. I'm sure there's a couple few people that don't like the Avengers just off that.
Yeah, true.
You think they're going to think the Avengers just aren't avenging anymore? I mean, that's what Eleanor kind of brought up. Like, what does that word even mean? Like, the Avengers aren't even avenging anymore.
That's a good ass point.
We'll see next one.
We're like, let's think about that for a second.
It might go on to the little disassembled storyline or something like that.
It could.
There's just so many things that can happen. Like there's only one episode left, and like I feel like they're about to drop a bunch of bombs in this last episode. Like for real.
Ooh,
yeah, because I'm like, they literally gave us Kingpin. Like, what else can they just do?
Right.
We'll see next Wednesday.
What are you guys' final thoughts, final takes, final predictions, final theories going into this last episode? We'll go down the line, starting with Jessica.
What are some things that I think are going to happen?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the mom is obviously getting her shit all the way blown up.
Yo, that's ironic given the like first scene of the series. But yeah, go ahead.
She's definitely getting blown the fuck up. You know, I really feel like something in me feels like Echo is gonna team up with Kate or Hawk or something like that is gonna happen. Like I feel like because her story is coming to an end, like something's gonna happen to where she's on the team with Kate. I don't know. I just feel that for whatever reason.
All right, first off, I think there's got to be at the very least a Daredevil reference. Because we're dealing with Kingpin. Them two is like yin and yang. He got to be in there somewhere. Or at least someone. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Mindy.
Personally, I kind of feel like either like Eleanor's gonna go like directly and like confront her mom of like why is she kind of doing this, knowing that Clint was like always her hero. But that's pretty much all I have for that.
Bad opinion, man.
Whatever, bro. Well, looking into Daredevil and everything, I feel like that'll probably be an end credit scene rather than bringing him into this final episode. I don't know. I think it's kind of just going to be a closing for Clint, but then more of like, just like how every other finale is and all the other shows, it's going to be like pieces and stuff that are adding up together to like for like future films and movies. So, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
My final take, the hot take before the final episode. I think Marvel knows exactly what they're doing. They're very meticulous. They specifically put Spider-Man out this week, knowing that Daredevil, who is in Spider-Man confirmed, is going to pop up in the MCU. And then you're kind of right. Actually, both Lucious and James, I think you're both right. Daredevil is coming in the post-credit scene. And I believe Daredevil season 4 will be the same exact show as Echo season 1. Drops mic.
Okay.
Or drops your own sword.
All right. I'll vibe with it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Hawkeye. This a little longer episode, but we had a little bit more to get into. Please join us again. Be sure to subscribe. We have one episode left. We have Spider-Man audio commentary coming soon. Subscribe to the Polaris Network. And cue the intro. No, I'm just playing. I'll be watching too much YouTube. No, subscribe, and we will send you your own prepackaged macaroni and cheese with hot sauce.
Now we're going Tabasco or Sriracha.
Ooh, Sriracha.
You got me thinking now.